like that. We got Allie Miller in studio with us, Allie for Supervisor.com. Allie, the journey to get here. You're a Tucson girl. Where are you from originally? Give us the thumbnail sketch bio, as we like to say.
Okay, I'm originally from Vermont. I moved here in 1981, and then I went to undergraduate at the UofA.
Vermont?
Vermont.
Wow.
Yeah, up there in the hills.
Joe, what's the capital of Vermont?
Maple syrup.
You are correct.
There you go.
How do you say it? Is it Montpelier or Montpellier?
Montpelier.
Oh, okay, I just want to make sure.
Depending on where you're from.
My fourth grader is studying that, and I've been flashcarding him. I should know that, Chris. I'm so sorry. Now that you say it, I know it.
I'm married to a girl from Maine, so I have to know these things.
Maniac.
You are correct.
I came from Vermont. I moved to Tucson in 1981. I went to school at the U of A. I have an undergrad in finance, and then I went back. I went to work for what is now Honeywell. It used to be Allied Signal. Worked there for about 12 years, and then I went back to the U of A full-time to get my MBA. And then after I graduated from the U of A, of course, there weren't any jobs available in Tucson, so I ended up moving up to Phoenix and working at Intel for several years. And then my husband was back down here, so I ended up moving back to Tucson.
Okay.
And then I started getting involved in, researching politics and really dug in on the Rio Nuevo. So that's kind of my background.
Well, we all moved to Tucson for a reason. We're all here for a reason. Lots of things we love about Tucson, weather, like you said, and the natural thing. And there's a good history kind of thing to Tucson. Lots of different cultures have contributed to. But what are the opportunities? What are the opportunities for us to jump on and move ahead here in a good way?
I love Tucson. I'm a hiker. That's one of my passions, and I've done a lot of that in Tucson. And the first thing that I think about is, why don't we define what we want to be when we grow up? It doesn't seem like we know where we're going. We're on a path, but everybody's going in different directions. They're not all on the same page. So in my opinion, if we develop a strategic plan, that would be a good start, and know where everybody's going. All these committees, get the leadership, the Board of Supervisors, setting policy, instead of letting all these committees go off in different directions. So they need to set the policy. They need to get them all on the same page.
It's funny that you say that. And I just brought this up last week to Joe, because over Christmas, you're at cocktail parties and things, and this lady gets on my case about, I said, she says, you guys give Chuck too much credit, that he has too much power. That's what she says. And I said, hey, what I want you to do for me is name a supervisor who has introduced an initiative in the last 5 years. Just name anyone. It could be, let's name...
like Rodney Glassman did the rainwater harvesting and the plastic bag and the.
I could name some things that Cheech and Chong at the city have done. I agree.
Right. But what at the county? Yeah.
Right. And no one can name one initiative that actually comes from a supervisor, because it comes from the quote, the committees. They said, we talked it out, but it comes
staff.
Chuck recommends, and the three just go.
I go to all of the Board of Supervisor meetings down there, and I go to most of them. And whenever I go in there, they have their agenda already predetermined by Chuck, it seems. And none of them really have much to say about when they vote. There's not much discussion. I mean, I went down, the first Board of Supervisor meeting I went to was in 2008. And I watched them approve a $1.4 billion budget with absolutely no discussion, no finance people present to present it and explain to the public where the money was going. So, I think that's a real problem. That's the first thing they need to do, is establish who is setting policy, and it should be the Board of Supervisors.
Didn't Chuck refuse to give Ray Carroll budget information? That was
yes, he was. Ray Carroll sent memos, and he was trying to get information from Chuck, and he absolutely refused to give it to him. So, it's outrageous, and he has usurped the power of the Board of Supervisors. And I think we need to, it's going to take a strong leadership and people in those positions, and that's why we need a change. We need to get rid of the same old go along to get along crowd, and it's going to take some strength and real leadership to take back that power.
I was saying first hour that through all these races, this race and any other race that we go through, this is a crucial election year, is I'm looking for people who have courage, who are willing to have the chutzpah and the guts to go make the hard decisions, say the hard things, and be a game changer kind of person.
But I think first we really need to define who we are, get a strategic plan, and move forward, because I'm really optimistic and excited about where we can go with Pima County.
Tucson doesn't have a strategic plan. They're mandated by the state every 10 years to put together some kind of a land use plan or a planning. Oro Valley, I don't know, do they have strategic plans? They talk about it?
Oro Valley has
theirs?
Oh, yeah.
Marana came in, and Gilbert and both mayor reiterated the
I think
strategic plan.
Marana's a little better.
They had a 5-point plan. It had to do with
Right.
parks and roads and quality of life and economic development and entertainment, which is their rodeo and their cultural heritage. And they just nailed it. Both of them knew it. They live it. Anytime something comes on their radar, they put it through the strategic plan. Does it fit our long-range plan? And if it does, they go. And if it doesn't, they get off it.
Yeah, everything they do is tied into their strategic plan. They have a buy local program. They incentivize business, and they're encouraging growth. And that's one thing. If you have a strategic plan, then you know what they say: fail to plan, plan to fail.
Right.
And that's what Pima County is doing right now. They have no plan. So with that strategic plan, it keeps you on track and it keeps the focus. And that's one thing the Board of Supervisors should be on all of these committees. They should be a part of these committees. And I don't see any of their names on these committees. I think there might have been one committee that one Board of Supervisors' name was on, and that was the Visitors Bureau. Wasn't there Ray Carroll on that committee?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Sharon now, but Ray was originally on it.
Yeah, but the rest of them, I don't see, there needs to be
So of all the panels and
participation.
committees you're talking about, there's a bond or a budget oversight committee.
Right.
That's probably the most important. So the citizens can look at what's going on with the budget.
Yeah, the citizens'
The
budget.
majority does not appoint people to sit on that, so it's never had a quorum.
Right, it was
They leave that,
established.
of all the committees, that's the one they do not seat and let people have a dialogue about how the budget works.
It was established in 1995, and they've had 5 people, and it takes 6 people for.
So they just
and
don't
they've
appoint.
never allowed the people to have that budget committee so that they can't see what is going on behind the curtain, and it's just wrong. People
Especially
need
the
to
size.
understand where their money's going, and when you review a $1.4 billion budget, you really should have a presentation from the finance director, is my opinion. But I'm very excited about the direction of Tucson and Pima County. I think we have a lot to offer, and I think if we plan now and we start putting the incentives in place and we make sure that we're doing the right things. If you look at Austin, Texas, they're doing it right now. They're offering incentives for new businesses to start up there. And right now they're not getting, business is slow, but they're getting things in place so that when the economy starts booming again, they're going to be way ahead of the game.
Hey, Allie, before I let you go, you had a background with Pima Tea Party. So explain to us your history with Pima Tea Party and what that meant to you and why and where. And, they've tried to demonize what the Tea Party conversation is. And tell me about your background there. And what,
Yeah, everyone tries to demonize the Tea Party. And my idea was it was a way to form a group, and tea is taxed enough already. And I think every citizen in the county, and I talk to Democrats, Republicans, Independents, they're all taxed enough already. And I got started with that group because I wanted to form a group, and what I focused on during that process was the Rio Nuevo, and that group really had a lot of impact. I mean, we got the FBI there. So I think it was a good thing. That's how I got started in it, and I think it got a lot of people active, and it's a way to communicate with people. It's a way to bring people together.
We watched it closely. We came to the events, and we spoke, and we were very involved. It was people like my mom and dad, and just normal, midlife folks that are going, what happened to my country? And from that, they're trying to demonize it going into this election cycle. But the core root of that was, I'm not happy with the way this country's going, this region's going, let's do something about it.
The taxed enough already. I mean, this county, this is it. All these things we talk about is because they have this honeypot of money, which is this bullcrap way they come up with your property taxes.
Right, and everybody's fed up with it, and that's why the average age, I think, of the Tea Party is about 60.
Yep.
And the people are fed up, and a lot of them are on fixed incomes, and they want change, and they want to make sure that their money's being spent wisely, and that's one of the things I want to make sure is that we're good stewards of the taxpayer money.
Yep.
And we're spending it in the right way instead
Can someone
of
with the Tea Party moniker win that district? What's the heart and mind of that district?
I believe that the majority of the folks up there are on board. Every time I talk to people about the Rio Nuevo, Democrats, Republicans, it doesn't matter. They're just so furious about that, and they are immediately, you're the woman that got the FBI here, and they're really excited that someone like that is going to step up and try to run, because we need something different here in Pima County. We've had the same old recycled politicians running this county forever. I don't think there's been a change in the Board of Supervisors in 12 years.
I tried, Allie.
I know you did.
Don't rub it in, Allie. Now she's on my case. I mean, now first it's you, now Allie's on my case.
It'd be really nice to have someone who ran an effective campaign years ago.
You came close.
Killing me.
Three favorite restaurants, and then you get to go.